Hi, good afternoon, folks. It's John again, here with the latest episode of Spiritual Shenanigans. And you can probably tell I'm indoors again this week. Uh, Nothing special, no reason other than that I couldn't be arsed. So I woke up this morning and I'm just one of those moods, can't be bothered and didn't really want to do much today. So I'm okay with that. I've already given myself permission to accept that some days I'm going to be on a high, buzzing, and other days I'm going to feel like a deflated tatty. So I'm in deflated tatty mode today, and that's all right. You know, there's nothing to be done. It just is. I just accept it. So one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about today is this came up this week, out of this week. I've been doing a training course with the Findhorn Foundation, and it's all about creating Findhorn where you are. Now that's a grand title, and it can mean many things to many people. So some of the people that are on the course with me, they actually want to establish a community where they are, and they want to learn how the Findhorn Foundation do their magic. For me, it's more about creating Findhorn within me. So rather than setting up a community, I'm keen to learn all about their spiritual aspects of what they do, and they have a beautiful thing called Love in Action, and it is core to what they are doing at Findhorn. And it's a very simple principle, but what they do is before they do any task, they come together as a group and they meditate and they attune. So they connect with each other and with the tasks, and they call in all the spirit guides and the angels. And when it comes to picking a task for the day that needs to be done, the task that each person needs to do becomes clear. And they find that there could be 20 tasks on the board, and every one of the 20 people there are attracted to a different task. So it's not like picking the best task, and it's beautiful. I love the way that plays out. And we've been doing a lot of different exercises and that through the last few weeks. And it was during Tuesday's session I came across an excellent phrase. And they brought up this concept of Hurkle Durkling, which is a Scots phrase from the south of Scotland. And it basically means you lie in bed longer than you should. And the way that it was described, it wasn't a negative thing. It's a positive thing. Sometimes you just have to do it. It's your soul, your body needs it. So I think that's what happened today for me. I was Hurkle Durkling. My alarm went off at 8 o'clock as normal. And normally I snooze it a couple of times and get up. But this morning I just turned the bloody thing off. And I went back to sleep. But I wasn't proper asleep. I was just kind of dozing. And I got up at 11:30. Which is, oops. So I knew I was creating this video today, so I knew I had something to look forward to. And one of the key things I want to get across here is this concept of Hurkle Duckling. It's a positive thing, Don't beat yourself up because you lay in bed till 11:30. Sometimes we just need it. Sometimes we just have to take that time out and do nothing. Just be. And instead of lying there worrying about what the hell I should be doing, I just lay there. And it was great. Now, a few of you have known me a long time, you know, so I guess that you'll be thinking I've been doing hurkle ducking most of my bloody life. Eh? So, yeah, maybe. Maybe I was spiritual before I realised it. I don't know. So after last week's episode of awareness, I think one of the big things I really want to talk about today is mindset and consciousness. So, where will I start? I'll start with mindset. So, I think in the world today, we have got a lot of people, a lot of souls that are kind of stuck with a victim mindset, where it's like, oh, poor me, you know, they're bad to me, they keep on doing all this to me, and you know, and that is a real low negative mindset. And if you consider that in the intro video, I touched on this vibration thing, okay? So if you consider that every single human being on this planet right now is capable of spirituality and capable of connection. Most of them are not awake yet. Most of them don't realize that yet. But fundamentally, all we are is this human body with a soul. The soul can be considered, for me, to be just pure energy. And because it's pure energy, it will vibrate at a certain frequency. So if you are, I guess, someone with a victim mindset, your vibration is going to be low. And what the hell does that mean? Well, what it means is we attract similar vibrations to what we are vibrating at. So if we're vibrating at a low frequency, we will attract other things, situations, people that are also vibrating at a low energy. So if you're feeling down and you know you're vibrating out this low frequency, you will attract other people who are down. And you will attract situations into your life that will keep you feeling down and vibrating in a low frequency. When we're happy, when we're absolutely top of our game, loving life, our frequency is vibrating at a very high level. And when we're up there and we're vibrating at that frequency, we will attract other people, other situations that are also vibrating at that higher frequency. So that leads to us bringing in more happiness, more love, better things. And it's a really simple concept. And my little analytical brain grasped that fairly quickly. But there's something else. You can imagine, if you look at your own life, you can swing between low energy, feeling down, and high energy, feeling high, very quickly. So what does that mean? What does that really mean to you? Well, for me, from my experience, I will admit to you that I spent most of my adult life living with depression, some anxieties, and a shitload of stress. And this shitload of stress was being caused by my thinking. So once I awoke and I made the realization, I could see that it was my thinking that was causing my stress, it fell away. And that allowed me to vibrate at a higher frequency. And that started attracting other things into my life. And I could see the world a lot more clearly than I could when I was feeling depression or feeling anxious or feeling stressed. So the best way, I think a metaphor is the best way I can describe this to you. So imagine you're living in a tower block that's hundreds of thousands of floors, yeah, unlimited number of floors. If that tower block represents you, so when we are in a low frequency, we're at the bottom in the lower floors of the tower block. So when we look out the window, we tend to see things like the dog shit lying in the grass, discarded junkie needles, burnt out cars, and it's really grim. And it keeps that frequency low. But if we are in our flow and we're happy and we're content and we're calm, it's like looking out at the 100th floor. So when we look out of the window on the 100th floor, we have a far better view and a far bigger view of what's out there. And we don't really notice or see the dog shit in the grass anymore. We don't see the discarded junkie needles. What we see is, oh wow, look at that beautiful fields out there. Oh my God, there's a beach over there. And that keeps our vibration high. Now, in terms of the spiritual world as I see it, as I understand it, there's no limit to the floors. So you can't ever top out, you know? You just keep on going. And eventually, you know, the higher up you go, you forget or you don't even see any of the shit on the ground floor anymore. It's not important. Your view of the world is raised so high that you have a higher view. You have a better view, a bigger picture view than you do when you're vibrating low. If that makes any sense to you. It made sense to me, but as I said, I can only describe what it's like for me. So if you imagine, you know, you're slumped over, oh, woe is me, and you're shuffling your feet, you're walking like the Penguin in Batman. You're only going to see the dog shit and the needles and the burnt out cars. You're not going to see the beach. You're not going to see the beautiful fields and meadows with flowers. So how do you flip it? How do you change your frequency? How do you change your vibration? Well, it's kind of linked to last week's awareness session, where you become aware that you're flopping around like a dopey penguin. And you become aware, oh, shit, what's this all about? And just having that awareness that it's your thinking there that's keeping you depressed, it's keeping you anxious, it's keeping you stressed. Once you realize that and see it, it immediately raises your vibration. So you go from maybe the basement even that has no windows, but you might go up to the 10th floor and you see beyond the dog shit and you see beyond the drug needles and you start to see, oh, there's a fence, but just over the fence there I can see a nice play park. I can see some fields. And just on the horizon, I think I can see the beach. I can see water. It gives you hope. It gives you a reason to stop with the shit thinking. And once you feel that initial lift, because it feels so good, you want that to last a bit longer. So when I talked about consciousness, my consciousness was rising. That's what I'm on about. And basically, the way I saw the world changed because my thinking got the fuck out of the way and I could see the world in a different way. Now you imagine how you think you see the world, you know? And I know that this is a bit of a head fuck because this was a big fucking head fuck for me. But if you can see things how they really are, you will realise that all of this is an illusion. What we see is what our thinking does to create what we see. Now that's a bit of a head fuck. So I'll try and explain it. If you imagine 5 people witness a crime, and the police come along and ask each of the 5 people for a statement, what happened? And then they ask them for details. The police will probably get 5 different answers on the details. All 5 will roughly, broadly describe the crime. But when it comes to details, each of the 5 different people will give 5 different answers. Because their reality is unique. And it's created through what their thinking is doing at that moment. So if we have kind of negative thinking going on and feel a bit, we are going to pick up details that vibrate and resonate with that frequency. If we're happy and we're bouncing around town and we see the crime, we are going to give the details that resonate with that higher frequency. And until you can recognize that you will see the world always through your thinking, and you know that with the awareness that it's your thinking that's creating your reality, there's things you can do. The awareness itself is very important. But to keep yourself at a higher frequency, there's very simple things to do. And that is cut out all the negative things that will sustain you in your low vibration, in your low thinking. So what are those things? It's really straightforward. It's all of the negative things in life. So cut out judgment. So stop judging other people to your standards, because they know fuck all about your standards and they don't even realize they're being judged, or how to play and how to bring what they're doing in line with what you want and what you expect. So stop judging people. You don't know what the fuck is going on inside their head and in their lives, so you have no right to judge them. That's a key one. The second, stop giving a fuck about what other people think of you. It is so fucking not important. It's absolutely irrelevant what other people think of you, because it's got no impact on you at all. Why should other fuckers, muppets, muggles, why does it matter what they think? They can barely do their own life. Why the fuck do you think they can do your life any better? Stop caring what other people think. Now, I've been fortunate, or maybe I've been an arrogant prick, I don't know, one of the two. But most of my life, I really don't give a fuck. I have never given a fuck what people think. And it is slightly arrogant, you know, because inside my head, I'll share this with you. Inside my head, they're not good enough to judge me or make comment on my life, because I'm the one that's in control. I'm the one that's leading this life. And I'm the only fucker in this world that can be me. They've got no chance. They'll do it worse than me. So why the fuck should I care what they think about my life? What I do to make myself happy is up to me. It's not up to Doris and her fucking neighbours or Bob and the fucking guys at the football. It is absolutely irrelevant to your life. And the sooner you grasp that one and the sooner you employ that, stop caring. Holy fuck. Your life will be so much freer and so much happier and so much calmer. And your vibration will just stay at a beautiful level all the time. So, the other thing, number 3 if you like, your expectations on other people and comparison to other people. Stop it. Unless you have clearly communicated to the other people around you or in your family, your friends, at work, whatever, unless you have clearly communicated to them your expectation is blah, then you have no right to judge them when they don't do it. You are seeing life through your thinking. They are seeing life through their thinking. And unless you communicate that I expect you to do this, don't ever think, well, they should have known. They should have just known to do that. No. That's a lot of judgment. That's a lot of low thinking. And your expectations are completely wrong. Your expectations on other people are completely fucking irrelevant as well. Unless you clearly communicate that that is what you expect. That then gives the other person a chance to agree, disagree, or compromise. In comparison to other people, like wanting to be other people. Oh, right, we are bombarded just now with shite on social media. I think the term is influencers. I prefer the term poxy wankers, yeah? They are not influencers. They are just people talking shite. And eventually when they get enough subscribers or whatever, they get paid to talk shite. And then they start getting paid by organisations to talk that their shite is good. So, live your own fucking life. Don't compare it to anyone else. You can't be anyone else. You can only be you. Embrace that. Bring that to the world. Love who you are. Be who you are. Live your life free of guilt, free of expectation, and free of judgment. And I promise you, you will lead a beautiful, happy life. So get away from this negative thinking. Get away from this victim mindset that it's everybody else's fault. They're being bastards to me. They're doing this. And realize that is you telling yourself a story to satisfy why you feel shit. Take responsibility of everything that you do. Take ownership, especially when you fuck up. Put your hand up. Whoops, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Please forgive me. Have the balls to do that. Instead of hiding behind lies and pointing the finger elsewhere. Own your life. Take accountability. Stand up and be you. How does that sound then? Yeah. So, I think that's enough for this week. I hope you have a great week next week, and I'll catch up with you soon. Stay safe.